distinguished dignitaries, faculty and staff of the GL Bajaj Institute of Management and Research, and aspiring managers of tomorrow. At the outset, let me congratulate you for crossing the threshold from a student career into a professional career. From this moment, even though you may walk, talk, look, and study like students, you are, in reality, professionals. And every step you take, every move you make should reflect that fact. You are a batch that will face some unique challenges, a fact that will make you both proud and apprehensive. As you complete your B school education, you will step into a post COVIDian working world. Let us try to look at some lessons from the past. 2008 was a wake up call. Since the subprime crisis, organizations have had to remain alert and adaptive to unforeseen circumstances, with consequent uncertainty among the personnel, which in turn impacts on organizational performance. Technological tools evolved alongside, making the transition easier, but the attempts were gradual, sporadic, and discreet. Then came COVID 19. As the pandemic sweeps across the earth, organizations are facing challenges that are unprecedented in experience and unparalleled in scope. This is forcing managers to deep dive to find immediate workable solutions to operational and technical issues, while concurrently addressing socio-psychological and personnel management issues arising out of the changes. Looking at the COVID concurrent and post COVID world, I perceive and anticipate some major shifts in the nature and functioning of the workplace. These shifts have important implications for managers, not the least because workplace changes create disruptions to employee psyche and operational practice. The changes demand that managers remain responsive and adaptive as they organize and manage their workforce and enable their personnel to cope with radical change in the work environment. Let me elaborate on some of these challenges. First, the technology challenge. The CEO of IBM, speaking in an online forum, said history would look back on this as the moment when digital transformation of business and society suddenly accelerated. COVID 19 has increased digitalization in all spheres of our professional world, whether it is education, healthcare, governance, or entertainment. Therefore, the virus has expedited a digital change that was already underway, while the usual intransigence to such digital change evaporates. What conservatives resisted for decades is now essential to survive and thrive in the pandemic. Even if there is a partial post pandemic return to business as usual, it is clear that the digital mindset will persist and many companies will adopt digital technologies much more than before COVID 19. This means that laggard organizations have to quickly digitalize or be wiped out. Employees who are unused to online modes of working have to be retrained or let go. The second shift that we observe is the emergence of work from home practices. COVID 19 has propelled us to experiment with WFH on an unprecedented scale. Digital natives have entered the workplace, a generation which has grown up in a connected world and is at ease with the way technology links people, allowing for immediate responses and a whole new way of collaboration. From a niche practice restricted to a few organizations, work from home may well become a norm across most offices. As the CEO of Wipro put it, Work from home will define a new normal for a lot of industries and will create new opportunities for us to be able to do more work globally. The remote working challenge is perhaps one of the most salient challenges stemming from the pandemic. Employees who formerly spent all or most of their time working inside their organization's physical boundaries now have to quickly adjust to remote working environments. Due to lockdown orders and the closure of non essential businesses, even those who might be well adjusted to remote working are now faced with their own unique challenges due to an inability to seek alternative workspaces, such as cafes or libraries, co working spaces outside their home. In addition to moving to remote temporarily as we weather this crisis, we can foresee that many will continue working remotely at least part of the time after businesses reopen their doors. For the manager, this involves adjusting employees to drastically altered work conditions, training, and implementing new workplace policies and procedures to limit human contact. HR, finance, IT, and other departments need to collaborate to develop and implement new protocols for WFH. The third shift that we may expect is the advent of the gig economy. A gig economy is one in which people are their own brand, traversing organizations as freelancers as the need dictates. Even before COVID 19, we were seeing permanent employers such as governments and universities cutting down on hiring and increasingly outsourcing even their core functions. As we exit the pandemic, there will be need for people who can ramp up quickly, take precipitate action, and make intensive efforts to enable quick turnarounds. Career opportunities will metamorphose. Organizations will be compelled to reassess critical jobs, expand definitions of responsibilities, and explore new boundaries for key tasks. With such modifications of job design, while some talent may be found within organizations, others will be delivered through freelancers. The time is not far off when each of us will have to get adjusted to becoming a freelancer. Remote hiring of technical talent will become the norm. While this may be perceived as creating job insecurity, it is not necessarily a bad thing or even a new one. Take a surgeon, for instance. She is attached to one hospital, but she consults in many hospitals. Some may even consult online and earns remuneration from multiple organizations. In a gig economy, a talented and skilled individual can peddle her expertise across organizations and be paid by all of them. To address these post COVIDian challenges, organizations need to look for non traditional ways of management. First, embrace technology. India has demonstrated that work from home has gone beyond our quotidian processes and scaled innovative new heights. Recently, my daughter, who is a lawyer, completed two major corporate transactions, the Facebook Geo deal and the Google Geo deal. These two transactions set a new standard in remote negotiation with extensive M&A dialogue happening online, even including due diligence and agreement negotiations. Transactions of this magnitude, especially transnational ones, usually involve considerable travel and face to face meetings by the higher management and their financial and legal advisors. Yet, incredibly, all this was accomplished online and remotely. So, welcome to the world of technology and the internet. Second, cultivate comfort with uncertainty. Let us learn from the world of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs regularly confront dynamic and ambiguous environments. They manage to thrive because of the premium that they place on autonomy their ability to craft the perfect job, their tolerance of uncertainty, their leveraging alternative domain specific sources of social support, such as positive customer feedback and a proactive approach to new situations. HR managers may do well to cultivate and encourage the entrepreneurial mindset among their traditional folk. Third, eschew office politics and practice collaboration and cooperation. After all of us who have worked anywhere, any place, recognize that a workplace is not a uniformly nurturing setting. Office politics, nepotism, gossip, backbiting, all these abound in a traditional workplace. In a way, the collapse of the conventional setting may signal a welcome death knell to such unsavory aspects of an office. The gig economy and pervasive freelancing necessarily brings in cooperation and coordination across sectoral silos. Teams of freelancers coming together for one purpose or task will result in the organic evolution of teams based on the phase of the project, the task to be completed, and the skills required at different stages of the project. As freelancing becomes prevalent, teams will be self created rather than be curated by leaders and will be more interdependent, collaborative, agile, and flexible. Members will co opt themselves to projects that they are passionate about. All this demands that we build up networks and skills, build each other up professionally, with no room for envy, undercutting, backbiting, or jealousy. I have highlighted for you some challenges that organizations face as they respond to the grand challenge of COVID 19 and some suggestions for managerial practice in navigating these challenges. The COVID 19 pandemic is likely to have profound socio psychological, physical, and technical implications for all of us as we attempt to adjust to our drastically altered work environments. Taking effective action requires leaders to conduct advanced planning and make strategic management decisions, many of which are not typically confined to national, economic, or societal borders in our interconnected world. On the whole, you will live in interesting times. Good luck to all of you. Thank you all. Jai Hind.